Hello everyone, I am Nitin Bause from Rieki from Japan, and I have with me a co-organizer and co-founder of Rieki from Japan, Hirotaka Mizutani. He is our consultant today, and he is going to walk you through the very delicate and important aspect of doing business in Japan, which is localization. Like our posts also suggested, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means that the whole world is a single family. In short, it is akin to what was said about the world, that the world is flat. Now, localization could be challenging, and localization could be an opportunity. You can take it in either of the ways. The moment you understand that what the Japanese culture is and how it is different from the Indian culture, things become easy. Without wasting much time, I'll ask my friend Hirotaka to please take over and start off.
Thank you, Nitin. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, India, and welcome to the fifth session of our Rieki-ng from Japan webinar series. I'm very delighted you've joined us today for what I consider one of the most critical topics in Japanese market entry, localization and brand positioning today. We are diving deep into step 4 of our comprehensive market entry process. If you've been following our series, you will know we've covered market research, entry strategy development, and regulatory compliance. Now we are at the point where the rubber meets the road. How do you actually adapt your product, service, and brand to resonate authentically with Japanese consumers? This isn't just about translation. It's about transformation while maintaining your core brand identity. Okay, before we begin, let me briefly introduce Nitin Bose from my side. He is CEO and founder of Stradher, the consultant, and co-founder of Rieki-ng from Japan. He has spent years helping organizations navigate the agile evolution and digital transformation, with a particular focus on bridging the gap between innovative ideas and real-world marketing applications. His experience spans workshop facilitation, strategic consulting, and mentoring teams through complex market entry challenges. Today, he is moderating the session. And let me introduce myself. I am today's main speaker, Hirotaka Mizutani, CEO and founder of One Step Beyond, and co-founder of Rieki-ng from Japan. I'm providing management consulting services on the ground basis as a certified small and medium enterprises management consultant in Japan, and hold an MBA degree from the University of Southampton, UK, and has been an active BNI Japan member since 2017. My important role now is to create a big picture of business relationship between India and Japan. Let me start with a statistic that should grab everyone's attention. 94% of Japanese consumers prefer localized products. This isn't just a preference. It's particularly a requirement for market success for everyone. But what does this really mean? In Japan, effective localization directly correlates with market success because Japanese consumers have exceptionally high standards for both product quality and cultural alignment. This isn't about being picky. It's about a fundamental cultural approach to consumption that values harmony, attention to detail, and respect for local customs. Think of proper localization as building the foundation of trust. And trust is absolutely the currency of Japanese business relationship. Without it, even the most innovative product and service will struggle to gain traction. The image you see here captures this perfectly. It's about creating those moments of tranquility that Japanese consumers associate with quality products. When your localization is done right, it doesn't feel forced or foreign. It feels natural, respectful, and genuinely Japanese. Today, we will explore three critical areas of localization. First, we'll dive into product and service adaptation. How to tailor your actual offerings to meet Japanese specifications, preferences, and quality expectations. This goes far beyond the surface level changes. Second, we will examine marketing and communications, how to adapt your channels, messaging, and visual elements to truly resonate with Japanese audiences. This is where many international brands either succeed brilliantly or fail spectacularly. Third, we will cover language and cultural branding. Implementing proper linguistic and cultural elements to build authentic connections that last. Throughout our presentation, please feel free to submit questions in the chat. We will address them during our Q&A session at the end. Your engagement makes these sessions more valuable for everyone. Let me share the three fundamental pillars that drive Japanese consumer expectations. Understanding these will help you prioritize your localization efforts effectively. First is quality, and I cannot overstate this. Japanese consumers expect meticulous attention to detail, precision craftsmanship, and zero defect standards. This extends to premium packaging expectations and absolutely consistent product experience every single time. If your quality varies even slightly, Japanese consumers will notice and remember. Second is safety. This encompasses comprehensive product information and robust support systems. Japanese consumers want transparent sourcing information and detailed user manuals. This needs to feel completely confident in the purchase decision. Third is omotenashi. This is a Japanese hospitality concept that emphasizes anticipatory service. It means anticipating customer needs before they even express them and going beyond expectations as a standard practice, not an exception. Here is my question for you to consider. Which of these three pillars presents the biggest challenges for your business? Think about this as we continue, because your answer will help determine where you should focus your localization efforts first. Now, let's get practical. I want to introduce you to what I call the 4F lens for product adaptation. This framework has helped dozens of companies successfully localize their offerings. First F is flavor, and this applies to more than just food products. Japanese palates prefer subtle, less sweet flavors with seasonal variations, different from India. The classic example is Kit Kat's incredible success with over 300 Japan-specific flavors, including matcha, sakura, and yuzu. They understood that flavor adaptation could become a competitive advantage. Second F is format. Think smaller packages, portion sizes, and space-efficient designs for urban living. Japan's living spaces are very compact, and the products need to fit this reality. Our beverage case study, which we will see next, demonstrates this perfectly. Third F is function. Japanese consumers often expect additional features, customization options, and intuitive interfaces. Think about advanced toilet functions, or famous mechanical toilet in Japan, and heated bath systems. These aren't luxuries in Japan. They are expected standards. Our fourth final F is finish. This about premium materials, flawless execution, and elegant presentation. Japanese gift wrapping standards literally exceed global luxury benchmarks. The finish of your product communicates respect for the customer. Each of these F's builds upon the others to create thoroughly localized product experience. Let me share a concrete example that illustrates the power of format adaptation. A beverage company was struggling with their standard global 5 milliliter size in Japan. After market research, they adapted to a smaller 350 milliliter format, a seemingly small change that resulted in 28% sales increase. Why did it work so well? The smaller format provided multiple advantages specifically aligned with Japanese consumer behavior. Better shelf space utilization in retail environments where every centimeter matters. Easier to carry during crowded commutes. And if you've ever been on a Tokyo train during rush hour, you understand why this matters. And it perfectly aligns with single-serving consumption habits. This example shows how understanding local context can turn a simple packaging decision into a significant competitive advantage. The company didn't just translate their product, they transformed it for local relevance while maintaining their core brand identity. Digital localization requires attention to what I call micro UX elements that build loyalty. These seemingly small adaptations significantly impact user satisfaction and retention rates in the Japanese market. Font optimization for Japanese characters is crucial. Japanese text requires different spacing and rendering than Latin alphabets. Address field structure must follow Japanese format conventions. Katakana-friendly search functionality ensures Japanese users can find what they are looking for regardless of how they input search terms. Local payment integration is essential. Systems like Konbini Payments and PayPay and Just Convenient, they are expected, and multi-device synchronization for train commute addresses. The reality is that many Japanese professionals use their commute time productively on mobile devices. The interface you see here demonstrates clean, intuitive design that feels naturally Japanese while maintaining functionality. Notice the balanced use of white space, clear hierarchy, and culturally appropriate visual elements. Regulatory compliance isn't just a legal requirement. It's a key trust signal for Japanese consumers. Let me highlight three critical areas. Food labeling requirements are extensive. Allergen disclosures, ingredient sourcing, and nutritional information must follow specific Japanese formats and standards. This isn't negotiable. PSE certification for electronics, the product safety electrical appliances, and material certification is mandatory for electronic products sold in Japan. Plan for this early in your localization timeline. Beauty product claims face strict regulations governing what you can say about cosmetics and skincare products in Japanese market materials. Claims that might be acceptable in other markets could violate Japanese regulations. The key insight here is that regulatory compliance demonstrates your commitment to Japanese standards and build consumer confidence in your brand. Now, let's talk about where Japanese consumers actually pay attention. Understanding the right marketing channels is crucial for your localization success. Television still dominates mass market advertising with 67% effectiveness, maintaining high viewership among all age groups. 15-second commercial spots remain highly effective for brand awareness, and the production quality standards are exceptionally high. Line messaging shows 86% effectiveness as Japan's leading messaging platform with powerful marketing capabilities. Official accounts provide direct consumer engagement opportunities that can't be replicated everywhere. Train station out-of-home advertising reaches 73% effectiveness with high impact placement at key transit hubs, targeting commuters. Both digital and static formats are available throughout Japan's extensive rail network. X, formerly Twitter, maintains 52 effectiveness and is exceptionally popular in Japan for real-time trend and conversations, with higher engagement rates than most other global markets. The key is that the multi-channel approach works best with combinations tailored to your specific target demographic. Don't put all your marketing eggs in one channel basket. Japanese communication is high context, which fundamentally changes how you should approach messaging. Let me explain three crucial principles. Indirect persuasion. Japanese advertising rarely makes direct claims about being the best or uses comparative marketing. Instead, it relies on subtle storytelling and emotional resonance. Your messaging should invite consumers to discover benefits rather than aggressively promoting them. Collective over individuals. Messaging embracing we rather than I resonate better with Japanese audience. Focus on community benefits, shared experiences, and group harmony. This reflects deeper cultural values about social cohesion. Keigo or formality levels, Japanese language contains multiple levels of politeness, and choosing the appropriate level of your brand positioning is crucial for establishing proper relationships. This isn't just about being polite, it's about showing cultural understanding and respect. These principles should guide every piece of content you create for the Japanese market. Visual elements. A deep cultural meaning in Japan. Let me share design elements that consistently resonate with Japanese audiences. Clean, minimalist layouts with ample white space reflect Japanese aesthetic principles. Trust building colors like blue and white work particularly well for corporate communications. Seasonal themes that align with Japanese calendar creates emotional connections, and we will explore this more in a moment. Character mascots can harmonize your brand personality in ways that particularly appeal to Japanese consumers. Natural motifs that reflect Japanese aesthetic values demonstrates cultural understanding and respect. The seasonal packaging example you see here shows how Starbucks generates millions of revenue through limited edition seasonal themes. The cherry blossom frappuccino isn't just a product, it's a cultural moment that Japanese consumers want to participate in. This approach transforms your product from a simple transaction into a cultural experience. The Japanese influencer landscape has unique characteristics you need to understand. Niche YouTubers are Japanese content creators with dedicated followings who often specialize in specific niches like beauty, gaming, or food reviews. Typical engagement ranges from 500K to 3 million views per sponsored video, with audiences that trust their recommendations deeply. VTubers, visual YouTubers using anime-style avatars, have massive followings and present unique partnership opportunities. Their live stream can attract 50K to 200K concurrent viewers, creating real-time engagement opportunities. Specialist bloggers are category experts with dedicated followings on platforms like Miba and Note, who provide trusted recommendations. They typically reach 100K to 500K monthly readers who value their expertise. One critical point, Japan has strict advertising disclosure rules. All sponsored content must be clearly labeled. This isn't optional. It's a legal requirement that also builds trust with audiences who appreciate transparency. This is where many companies make critical mistakes. There is a fundamental difference between translation, transcreation, and validation. Translation provides basic conversion from your source language to Japanese, giving literal meaning but potentially missing cultural nuance. For example, drive sales becomes, in Japanese, 販売を促進する technically correct by underpinning and culturally flat. Transcreation involves creative adaptation that preserves intent while resonating culturally, often reimagining the content entirely. The same words, drive sales becomes 売り上げを次のステージへ. It means take sales to the next stage, which sounds naturally and motivating in Japanese. Validation means testing with native speakers to confirm cultural appropriateness, emotional impact, and absence of unintended meanings. This step is crucial because even excellent transcreation can have unexpected cultural implications. Testing slogans with target demographic focus groups should be standard practice, not an afterthought. The investment in proper validation pays for itself by avoiding costly mistakes and ensuring your message lands as intended. Your brand name requires careful consideration in the Japanese market. Let me explain the key considerations. Phonetic considerations matter because Japanese use katakana script for foreign words, potentially changing how your brand name sounds and perceived. Nova becomes Nova, pronounced Nova. Apple becomes Apple, and Rush becomes Rush. But beyond the pronunciation, you need to check for unintended meanings. Characters used in your brand name might have unintended meanings in kanji. You must check the negative associations, verify pronunciation in all Japanese dialects, and conduct similar mark searches at the Japan Patent Office. My strong recommendation, file Japanese trademark protection early in your market entry process, ideally 12 to 18 months before launch. The Japanese trademark system operates differently from other markets, and early filing protects your brand investments. Successful cultural branding rests on these fundamental pillars that I want to you remember. First is authenticity. Be true to your brand's core value while respectfully adapting to Japanese cultural context. This isn't about becoming a different brand. It's about expressing your authentic brand in culturally appropriate ways. Second is respect. Demonstrate deep understanding and appreciation of Japanese customs, traditions, and business practices. This shows through every touchpoint, from your marketing materials to your consumer service approach. Third is contribution. Show commitment to Japanese society through meaningful CSR initiatives and community engagement. This is crucial. In Japan, foreign brands are expected not just to sell products, but to contribute positively to society. CSR isn't optional, it's essential for building lasting relationships. These three pillars work together to create a brand presence that Japanese consumers can trust and embrace long time. Now, I want you to think practically about your own situation. Which adaptation area would you prioritize first for your Japan market entry? Product adaptation, modifying physical products, or digital services to meet Japanese preferences. Marketing channel, establishing presence on Japan-specific platforms and media. Language and marketing, developing culture and communications strategy. Or regulatory compliance, ensuring all offerings meet Japanese legal requirements. Take a moment to consider your specific business, resources, and timeline. There is no universally correct answer, but your choice should align with your strategic objectives and market entry timeline. We will discuss different approaches if you need in our Q&A session later. Let me share a success story that illustrates the power of comprehensive localization. An Indian SaaS company we'll call Company Z provides an excellent case study. In months 1 to 3, they focused on deep localization, complete user interface redesign, and Japanese users. Not just translation, but fundamental interface changes. A dedicated Japanese data center for compliance and performance, and development of line integration bot for customer communication. Next, months 4 to 8 focused on market positioning, partnership with a local IT consultancy for credibility and market access, development of Japan-specific case studies that resonate with local businesses, and technical documentation free in Japanese. The results in years 1 to 2 were explosive. 300 million annual revenue by the end of year 1 and 800 million annual revenue by the end of year 2. And here is a key insight: 80% reduction in customer acquisition costs versus the global average. Why? Company Z's thorough localization efforts resulted in exceptionally low marketing spend because the product itself became the best marketing tool through word of mouth in Japanese business networks. When you get localization right, satisfied customers become your most effective salespeople. Before we wrap up, let me highlight 3 critical mistakes I see repeatedly that you must avoid. English-only support is a fundamental error. Providing manuals, support documentation, or customer service exclusively in English significantly limits adoption and satisfaction. Japanese consumers expect comprehensive native language support for all products and services. This isn't negotiable. Ignoring kanji power means overlooking the emotional and cultural associations of Japanese characters in your branding and communications. Each kanji character carries multiple layers of meaning beyond the literal translation. Invest in understanding these deeper meanings. Global template campaigns, using one-size-fits-all marketing campaigns across markets without meaningful cultural adaptation, is easily spotted and quickly rejected. Japanese consumers can quickly identify inauthentic localization efforts, and they will reject them. The pattern here is clear. Superficial adaptation fails in Japan. You need genuine, deep cultural understanding. Let me give you specific actionable steps you can implement immediately. For product and services, conduct Japanese sensory testing if applicable. Audit your UI UX against Japanese standards. Implement katakana search functionality for digital products. Optimize for mobile first experience as mobile usage patterns differ in Japan. And develop Japan specific features that address local needs. For brand and marketing, complete thorough brand name vetting to avoid cultural missteps. Perform a tone of voice audit to ensure cultural appropriateness. Develop a seasonal marketing calendar aligned with Japanese cultural moments. Create Japan-specific case studies that resonates locally, and build a comprehensive localization style guide for consistency. My strong recommendation is establish an internal localization task force with representation from product, marketing, legal, and customer support teams to ensure coordinated adaptation efforts. Localization touches every part of your business. Let me summarize our key takeaways today. First, adapt your product and story to align with Japanese expectations and preferences while maintaining your authentic brand identity. The balance is crucial for long-term success. Second, speak the local language by getting beyond translation to true cultural fluency in both verbal and visual communication to build lasting connections. Third, market fair Japan consumers actually listen by establishing presence on Japan-specific channels and platforms where your target audience actively engages. Okay. Thank you for joining us today for this deep dive into localization and brand positioning in Japan. For ongoing support and consultation, you can reach us at this email address. We also maintain an active LinkedIn presence at the link shown here, where we share regular insights and updates about the Japanese market entry strategies. Our next webinar will be a deep dive into step 5, building your Japanese team and operations, scheduled for August 1st, 2 weeks after. This session will cover establishing local operations, how to identify, evaluate, and build relationships with local partners, distribution channels, and B2B, B2C models. Okay, thank you very much for joining today.
Right. Hiro-san, thank you very much for your detailed explanation of all the localization aspects and especially the branding aspects. One of the attendees has left a question which is probably related to a SaaS product which is currently in the market for the printing industry. Now, they would want to launch this product in the Japanese market. So, from the localization perspective, I know you mentioned that there are going to be a lot of areas where the features or even the utilization of the language or even the branding should be such that it takes care of these aspects. So if a company which is established in rest of the world and wants to enter into the Japanese market, and it's a SaaS product. What do you think is the timeline range for entry into Japan?
Maybe it takes it took about okay, this was very quick case. They they could launch in 2 years.
Okay, so if the company wants to launch the product as it is, it would take about 2 years, and all the aspects, the branding, legal, marketing, and of course the localization would be taken care in that span.
Yeah. So this was very properly planned, and the action was very intensive.
Makes sense.
Then they could be successful within 2 years.
Thank you very much, and I hope everyone enjoyed the session, and we'll meet on 1st of August. See you guys. Bye for now.
See you. Thank you very much.